Gift of foresight. Intervention of God. The living connection with God will never bring falsehood to man, and therefore every utterance of the Divine Spirit can be believed. The gift of foresight is now likewise an utterance of the Divine Spirit, so these must also be evaluated as truth. The more intimate the connection with God is established, the more clearly man will be able to predict the events of the future, and he himself will have no doubt that these predictions will come true. God's plan has been fixed since eternity, and it is, and every event is the effect of the right or wrongly applied will of man. And therefore the things of the future are also clearly visible to the Spirit in man, and he is able to announce it to man through the soul, if he has the order from God to do so. The dream as well as the inner voice comes into the consciousness of the human being, so that he can communicate the event to the fellow human beings. But only few people see in it an announcement of the coming event. And the foresighted man is seldom be recognized, thus his announcements be believed. The people are to be pointed out to it, so that they can prepare themselves, thus the events do not surprise them. He wants to give them the possibility to arrange their life so that they can surrender it at any time if it is God's will. And so he puts the possibility of an end before their eyes, so that they seriously start the work on their soul. This is the purpose of the announcements. So only the love for men determines God to announce through a willing man what his wisdom has decided since eternity. And therefore he announces to them that he will intervene in the chaos of desolation in a short period of time, that he will take care of the people who are on the verge of destruction, whom human will causes to come into hard distress and who consider their end to have come. And God will prove to the world that his will is stronger, that he can make the will of men ineffective, and that he intervenes when mankind is threatened to completely succumb to the demonic influence. He will reveal himself because they no longer respect him, and that is why he announces himself to mankind beforehand so that they recognize him. And this time is no longer far away. A wrestling of nations is approaching its end, but differently than people expect. For God's will is decisive, and his intervention will end the struggle, which is taking on ever increasingly destructive forms and therefore requires God's intervention. Amen.